What's up, everybody? Justin here, After Hours Drift Shop, After Hours Auto Sports. Just wanted to give you a quick recap, or not recap, I guess a update on Josh Love's Pro E46 we are putting together. It is still very much in the fabrication stage, but I'm not sure how much of this I have shared outside of a couple Instagram pics and stuff like that. So I'll walk you through it, go over some changes real quick, kind of doing this all in one take. So forgive me for a shitload of ums and pauses and weird close-ups of my nose. But yeah, so we picked this up. It was a complete, would have been running and driving, except the wiring harness was a disaster. 325i E46. So the first thing we did was tore it completely down, stripped all the seam sealer, all the sound deadening, anything rubberized out of it. Took it over to applied plastic coatings where they sandblasted the interior and the engine bay for us. We're going to get the underside done, but the car wasn't caged and they needed it caged to flip it to do the underside. So we're going to take it back, I believe is the plan. Then we started caging it. So the cage is about 90% done. It just needs door bars. I didn't want those in to be laying over them for the next 3 months. So they're kind of the last thing we're going to do before the car goes to paint. We got the tube front mostly worked out. This is on a quick release. Well, not quick release, but it's coupled together. It unbolts. So this whole thing can come off to pull the motor. Just those two bigger ones are permanent. The bash bar is made up. We are just waiting for the hood and the headlights to get here so I can get the headlights mounted, get the hood on, make sure everything fits up nicely before we go ahead and weld the mounts for the bash bar to the car. But it fits in the bumper nice, looks good. Kind of go around here. Got the quarters in the back cut off for the Big Duck Club quarter panel replacements that we always run on these cars. Waiting for those. It's preliminarily cut. Once those get here, that will all be tuned up and cleaned up, and there won't be death trap edges to rip all your clothes or your skin. This is cut out for a PBM rear bar that we're allowed to run this year. So thank you, Kevin. The cage is tied into the strut towers. So with all this combined, we should be more than good to run our field suspension true coilovers that we are. Got the fuel cell mount done. We did end up scooting the fuel cell forward from where we had it last year due to this PBM bar being kind of where we used to run the fuel cell. Because of that, we had to move the firewall forward, of course. So we got the main hoop all sealed off to the car there. It's just going to be a two-piece aluminum, some riv nuts, some bolts, all good. We are trying to run our setup from last year. The rules did change for this a little bit, so I do have to modify it a hair after speaking with Kevin, but that'll save us quite a bit of time. And we know this works. We ran it through its paces last season a couple times, and it came out on top. Let's go underneath. We got our battery boxes welded in. The Subframe Reinforcement Kit done from Clown Shoe Motorsports. Should be a real solid chassis. I don't think we're going to stitch weld this one. We just don't have the time, and not really totally sure it's worth it. If anything, we'll go back and do it in the off season next year when we have more time and we're not building a car from scratch again. The engine is staying pretty much the same. You can see it hanging out back there. Vortex supercharged LS3 did like 720-ish, 717 at the wheels. Was plenty for Pro 2. Will be plenty for Pro Spec. You'll notice I called it a Pro car at the beginning. The car is being built for Pro. We have Josh earned his pro license last season, took 3rd overall, rookie of the year. So we are assembling this car with Pro in mind, but we are going to run in Pro 2 next season, Pro Spec, to procure more sponsors, more budget, sort that kind of stuff out. Really focus on the program and dialing in the car so we can have a better shot when it comes to Pro. That's pretty much it. We got the Sweet Manufacturing steering column in there. You can see I got the tunnel cut out to FD maximum specs to to be able to get that bell housing out if we need to do a clutch or whatever. I doubt it. The Tilton clutches are solid. We are running the same radiator, the same fuel cell, the same suspension, the same knuckles, trailing arms, all that. We are switching to WiseFab for all the suspension stuff, or I should say all the steering and rear link stuff. We are going to be running these incredibly nice Tilton pedals in the car. One big change that we are making is that we are switching to Link ECU for this season. So Link hooked us up with everything we need here. We got 2 Link Extremes we're building 2 cars. I'll make another video on the other car. It's not even here right now. Link dash the Link aim dash, all the Link sensors, all that. The Terminator X was great to us, but with the Pro Spec rules requiring Link, it made the choice easy. We love Link, and we're stoked to be working with them anyway. I just don't want anyone to think it's anything bad towards Holly. It's not. It's just the way the sport's going, the way the car's going, having spares around, all that sort of stuff. Link is the obvious choice to be running these days. So that's the decision we were going to have to make, but then Formula Drift went ahead and made it for us. So that was easy. Rick rebuilt our dog box. Quick change is fine. Our subframe is out at Bink being built. That's pretty much it for now. I will make another video once we get a little bit further on the fab work and get it buttoned up and start test fitting stuff. Thanks for tuning in.